Greetings everyone, yes, Lodrik, and this is the game War in the Pacific Admins Edition. This is my play-by-email match against KilRoy. He's the commander of the Allied forces, and for me it is the Empire of Japan. This is scenario 1 with no modification, but a working American torpedoes. And yeah, we are now in July 42, second half of the year, and Trusty is able to find a light cargo ship. Oh no. So KilRoy's submarine fleet is stepping up his hard kill ratio. There was a hit, but no explosion can happen. Can always happen. Every torpedo have only maximum explosion chance or trigger chance of 90%. So my submarine. I find here south of Melbourne a cargo ship going down. The American trigger is here, but nothing happens. Here I have patrol, and this is shallow water. Dangerous. Torpedo hit with explosion, but my ship can survive, and there's a ports nearby, so hopefully I can survive. This is Yokohama port. To enter here is dangerous because there are tons of mines and patrol. This cargo ship is with oil, so it will burn and impossible normally to get under control. And I make a decision to say, let's sweep again. I have your Oscars. And this is now a low altitude fighter against low altitude fighter. Problem is that the Oscars are not really making too much damage, but it's enough to damage any airplane. I mean, the Oscars and Aerocobras both have heavy machine guns. It's only that I think Aerocobra have more. And Aerocobra have much more hit points and armor. Anyway, I have the numbers and maybe the better pilots. It's not an easy victory, but I achieve it. At least I sweep the skies of Nomaya. Temporarily. And these Dutch forces are losing one squad after the next, so they are all disabled. Yeah, they are already disabled, now they are destroyed. My 4 late fighters. Oh. So this was a real cargo ship, I mean, bigger cargo ship at least, not only this 1.2, 0.3 point ships. And my long range torpedo bombers won't attack, but a Wildcat is here and getting my first Emily. And now the Aerocobra is coming. And can destroy the second Emily. So this is a 100% kill ratio on my airstrike. And this is Emily's. I mean, it's not only the K2, but it's only the K1, but K1 normally have hit points and armament like a B-17. I mean, like a heavy bombers is 4 engine both. So, and 4 engines always give the enemy party or the other side double points. So KilRoy get for this 2 destroyed airplanes 4 points. And I lose here 2 pilots plus 2 Emily's. At the end are only 2 airplanes, of course, and 2 pilots. Still, highest percentage loss rate ever happened, 100%. And yeah, I must maybe give now more escorts to my cargo ships. There was a Chinese army coming out of the mountains. And now they are back in the mountains. But not all of them. Most of them are walking. Yeah, this bombardment's I think, even. So the beginning of the month was a lot of sub-activity. Maybe not the sub-activity I like to see so much, but at least some activity. And strong air battles over Nomaya. Also not with always the best outcome for me, but activity. And you can see a lot of ships going in upgrade, refitting or whatever. So air losses are still in favor for me because it's still 18-2, and this means at the end all of my Oscars are returning. And my Oscars can kill 13 plus 1 Wildcat. I mean, it's not completely matching up. You can see that there are some... It's only 18 airplanes, but here is reported more Allied losses. For me, it's for sure these 2 Emilys. They're both destroyed. And both pilots are missing. Still, this whole wing is destroyed. But because, yeah, plus maybe only. I lost 2 good cargo ships, plus 1 AKL. This is this, I know. These are good cargo ships, I would say, but, yeah, good. Not super important, but good cargo ships. And here's a submarine, you can see this, and normally Yokohama have, yeah, 350 mines. Plus I have here patrol boats, local minesweepers, and also hunters. And this is, again, this is a H, means assistant. At least I call them assistant. And this is always slow, short range, only shallow water, and there's no upgrade. I mean, you can get this upgrade, and this is a 25mm cannon gun. It's because I'm not so sure if this ship will have a surface engagement with a submarine. I'm not so, because these are heavy machine guns. I don't know if with heavy machine guns you can really hurt the submarine, but with a 25mm gun, maybe. This will be other case. So, now most of my ships, or not most, but a lot of ships are now in refit. You can see all shipyard. You not really need to keep them in shipyard. You can immediately kick them out again. Only what is really damaged need a shipyard. These two cruisers are still in upgrade to be an anti-aircraft light cruiser support. Also, so this means more or less you can see 20 days, 40 days, but end of August I have all upgrades done and can fight on a better anti-aircraft level with even some radar. Good. China, no change. This battle was victory, so the Chinese are back. Not more so many, but okay. I can see that airfield damage now 100%. Okay, maybe. And a lot of British forces here. My carriers are returning to get also this starting the refit, because here you need to upgrade, so you need to upgrade. Junio is already coming with this upgrade. The others first need, so there's first this 43 upgrade, but no, this is the same. Husho. No, this is later. This upgrade is only a little more 25mm guns and taking away this nonsense 14cm surface equipment. So we had an air battle, successful or not so successful. So my Oscars was very successful with their sweep. Wait, this is so the Oscars they making a sweep and only one airplane get damaged, that it must be repaired. The rest is fatigue, or I mean there is some damage, but it's not enough to force them to get a repairing. A lot of pilots getting some kills, so they also get experience. Normally, one kill, normally 1 experience points, more or less. It was okay. So the situation is for KilRoy now again. He's running out of fighters. But my torpedo attack was defeated. So this air wing lost both aircraft last turn, +2 missing pilots. But I still have 3 pilots here I could use. So I train them always. I mean, this kind of aircraft I always train on. Normally on Navy search plus torpedo. Because they're really good torpedo bombers. Every airplane can carry 2 torpedoes, so there's a lot of firepower, on paper at least. So anything else here to see? Not really. These are still just destroyers. I don't know. Every day I get other information what there is a task force here, and I must maybe do something sooner or later about it. Because it's a new month, maybe I can also check shortly what is reported real sinking of ships. So point wise, I mean, for me it's always true. So I lost 2 carriers up to now, and submarines and some destroyers, but this is not really changing. So the big stuff is the 2 carriers I lost. Okay. And for the Allies, it is so far reported Lexington, Enterprise, Yorktown. The British carrier is going down, and some battleships, battle cruisers. So still in favor for me, I would say. A lot of heavy cruisers also. But most important is the amount of, I think US 3 American fleet carriers. So this means they KilRoy have, I think, now only 2 fleet carriers left for the Americans so far. And the British lost also 2 fleet carriers, so I'm not too sure. I don't know. I think maybe the British have maybe 1 or 2 carriers, and the Americans have maybe 2 carriers. So I have a much better number game, at least, on the map so far, but we'll see how this will change in the future. Engines again, so I try to keep my pool over 500 to get the bonus. I produce some aircraft, but not more than 2. I have this now off production. I'm not too sure what I really want to do with this factory. We will see. 110 M5s per month, I think, is first enough. I don't really have high loss ratio, or high loss numbers. I'm producing now the Nels in greater numbers. The Emily is also under production every day, 1 airframe, so that I can normally change all my flying boats to Emily's. They are much better. Oscars are still under production 1C, but they don't really give me too much. The Tojo, I'm not able to build up this factory, but then I realize, I make not a mistake, but it makes no sense to upgrade now. I cannot build the factory up, because I don't want to build the first Tojo. You could do this, it's possible, but they don't. For me, they are not really big improvements over the 1C. And so I say I go directly to the 2C. This is a much better Tojo. This I like to produce. But between the 2C, I don't know, Tojo here, there's this 2B. And if I now build up my air factory with Tojo 2A, and then I only have R&D for 2C, then I'm missing the 2B to get a free upgrade pass. So this is why I cannot really build up my factories. I must wait that I finish the R&D for the 2C before I can really start building factory capacity. The rest is 2A. They will have a similar situation. So this is why I can maybe change the M2 later to M8. Then all the factory will be break down and must rebuild. And then I keep the M5 running, but I don't increase the numbers. Mainly because I think the M8 is a good cap fighter, but not the best escort fighter. M8 have simply more range. M8 is limited in offensive activities. You can see here the M5 is the same firepower like a M2, and you can fly it in easily up to 20,000. The maneuver values are all the same, and you have a range with drop tanks on normal to 10. That is enough to go everywhere with any carrier strike craft. The 8 get more firepower because heavy machine guns makes sense. The maneuver values are the same. The speed this is all the same, but the difference is really a little more firepower and armament. Here for your armament. But the range is dropping to 7. It's still okay. I don't say it's impossible to use this for strike craft, because your dive bombers will never go over 7, more or less. Only the Grace dive bomber can go far away with 10. And yeah, I also realized this after some time. This is a B. And B is normally the code for torpedo bomber. So you can see here B4, B5, B6. These are all torpedo bombers. B7 is normally also torpedo bomber. But the game counts this at a dive bomber. You can see here dive bomber. Now many people will say, okay, it's only a name, but the problem is that the game also really splits this hard. Maybe I can show it here. If you have a torpedo bomber and you go for upgrade pass, then you can see B4, B5, B6 in this M6. This is the seaplane torpedo bomber. I think it makes no sense to use it, but anyway. So there is no B7. You cannot upgrade to the Grace because this game really say now I can go to dive bombers. Then I can hear D. D is the code for dive bomber. D1, D3, D4, D5. I can also change to a torpedo bomber, and I can also change to the Grace. The problem is, if I go now to a torpedo bomber and say, okay, I make out of this a torpedo, I want to have a torpedo bomber. I upgrade this one to a torpedo bomber. I can do this now. Yeah, and if I don't say keep this upgrade pass, I say no, then I'm now a torpedo bomber. Now I'm in the torpedo bomber line, and I cannot go more to B7. Ta-da! So I would always recommend it if you want to keep the original upgrade pass, then say yes, because then you can at least always switch back to the dive bomber if you have the Grace. Because maybe you won't have the torpedo bombers. Japanese dive bombers are not so great, at least not now. Remember, it's a little tricky and make no sense, and I don't like it, because if you play with player-defined upgrade, then I don't understand why I cannot simply say what airplane this air wing won't have to fly. But it is the game rules. Thank you. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.